So my cousin was killed when his motorcycle hit an SUV. It's been suggested that my cousin was speeding, but the driver definitely turned in front of him. If they can somehow prove that my cousin was over the speed limit, does that mean his family has no claim against the driver?
Of course, there is still a claim against the driver. Up until, I would say, March 25th, Florida was what we call a pure comparative fault state. So even in the event that somebody was speeding, a jury has to weigh that fact if there's evidence out there. You are not allowed to just testify that you saw a car going fast and it looks like it was speeding. That's not permissible evidence that a jury would actually ever get to see. What we do is we do downloads of vehicles that tells you how fast the vehicle was actually going. But in Florida, prior to March 25th, 2023, we were a pure comparative fault state. So let's say your cousin, unfortunately, who passed, was speeding, say 10 miles over the speed limit. Then at that point in time, the jury would have to weigh that versus the driver who failed to yield, who turned in front, who's the main contributing cause. On those cases, I would say there's a possibility that someone is speeding, but you still have a duty to yield to oncoming traffic.
Here.
In this situation, there is a chance that a jury thinks that your cousin was 51, 52, 53%, and that they determined the family's entitled to $10 million. On our old law, before it changed in March of 2023, there would still be a multi-million-dollar verdict to help compensate the family, which is kind of fair if there is fault.
Right.
But now under the new law, if a jury determined speeding or wasn't wearing a helmet contributed to this, then if it's more than 50%, the family is not entitled to anything for their loss. And again, we are not really sure why the legislature did what it did, but that's one of the reasons that if someone is injured, hurt, killed, whatever it is, you need to have a lawyer who actually practices in that line of work so they can be up to date with how the law is changing every year.